Hey everyone! Today, we're diving into one of the most mysterious legends of the ancient world, the story of the Anunnaki. Were these gods actually alien visitors? What's really behind the myths of Nibiru? In this video, we'll explore Sumerian texts, Babylonian epics, and flood legends, searching for possible traces of extraterrestrial influence on humanity. And while you're thinking about that, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a like if you're into mysteries and the unknown. It really helps the channel grow. The term Anunnaki comes from ancient Sumerian mythology, one of the earliest known civilizations located in Mesopotamia, in what is now modern-day Iraq. According to traditional texts, the Anunnaki were a pantheon of gods responsible for creating and governing the world. They appear in various Babylonian and Sumerian sources, like the Epic of Gilgamesh, the Enuma Elish, and the Epic of Gilgamesh. But these gods weren't just abstract beings. They had distinct personalities, often clashed in family conflicts, and played a major role in the fate of humanity. Key figures like Enlil, often associated with wind and storms, and Enki, linked to water, wisdom, and creation, were constantly locked in a struggle for power. Because of this ongoing drama, many people began to wonder, did these gods actually walk among humans? Let's fast forward to more recent times and take a look at the work of author Zecharia Sitchin, whose interpretations of Sumerian tablets sparked worldwide fascination with the idea of ancient aliens. According to Sitchin's theory, the Anunnaki were alien visitors from a distant planet called Nibiru, a world facing a severe atmospheric crisis. Allegedly, they arrived on Earth around 450,000 years ago in search of gold, which they believed could save their dying planet. If we follow this hypothesis, after landing and starting to mine for gold, the Anunnaki created humans, either through genetic experiments on early hominids, like Homo erectus, or by blending clay with a divine or extraterrestrial essence. All of this to create a workforce, a way to relieve the lesser gods, known as the Igigi, from the exhausting labor of mining. While mainstream science and archaeology do not support Sitchin's interpretation, his theory continues to captivate many, thanks to its dramatic narrative and the bold idea that ancient gods may have been real beings from beyond the stars. One of the most fascinating parts of this story is the theme of the Great Flood. Across many cultures, in Mesopotamia, in the Bible, and beyond, there are legends of a catastrophic deluge, sent to wipe out a rebellious or overpopulated humanity. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, humans multiply and become too noisy. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, the flood hero is named Utnapishtim. And in the Bible, it's Noah who receives divine instructions to build an ark. According to Sitchin, the flood may have been part of a deliberate plan by certain Anunnaki leaders who wanted to reset humanity. But Enki, more sympathetic toward humans, is said to have secretly warned the chosen hero, allowing him to survive and preserve life on Earth. The repeating flood motifs in Sumerian, Babylonian, and Biblical texts keep raising the question. Could they all trace back to a single, shared origin? Maybe it's a cultural memory of a real natural disaster. Or, for ancient astronaut theorists, a sign of extraterrestrial involvement. In Sumerian and Babylonian reliefs, the gods are often shown as majestic, towering figures, sometimes wearing elaborate headgear. Supporters of the ancient alien theory suggest these could be technological helmets or even advanced suits. Some sources also mention gods with wings, which are interpreted as symbols of flight or even space travel. Then there's the ongoing mystery of how ancient civilizations built massive megalithic structures. Could the Egyptian pyramids, Mesopotamian ziggurats, or the Nazca lines in Peru have served as landing sites or navigation markers for spacecraft? Authors of alternative theories believe the Anunnaki may have had anti-gravity technology or access to free energy powerful enough to move stones weighing dozens of tons with ease. Mainstream archaeology, however, argues that humans had the engineering skills and labor force to build these wonders, no aliens required. But the mystery remains. Some researchers turn to biblical and extra-biblical texts in search of more clues. For example, in the Book of Enoch, so-called fallen angels, the Watchers, take human women as wives and give birth to the Nephilim, giant beings with supernatural abilities. Could this be a reflection of the Anunnaki crossing their bloodline with humans? Similar patterns show up in Egyptian texts, where gods create humans from clay, like the potter god Khnum, and pharaohs often claim to be direct descendants of the gods. In Mesoamerica, the deity Quetzalcoatl is frequently compared to Enki for his role in creation and bringing knowledge to humanity. These parallels fuel the theory that many ancient cultures speak of sky gods possibly as different versions of the same story or echoes of repeated contact with higher beings. Skeptics claim that Nibiru is pure science fiction. But interestingly, astronomers have proposed the existence of a possible ninth planet in our solar system. A distant, massive body, one that could be affecting the orbits of certain objects in the Kuiper Belt. Although this hasn't been officially confirmed, some enthusiasts see the idea of a ninth planet as a possible hint, a clue that Nibiru, and maybe even its Anunnaki inhabitants, might not be entirely imaginary. Of course, jumping from orbital anomalies to gold mining aliens is a big leap. There's no direct link between the hypothetical ninth planet and the Sumerian Nibiru, but the idea itself keeps people curious and continues to fuel alternative theories. If the Anunnaki really brought advanced technology to Earth, then where is it now? According to the legends, once they had mined enough gold or solved their problems, they left our planet. Some say it was a gradual departure. Others believe they vanished suddenly, aboard their spacecraft. Over time, humanity seems to have either forgotten their knowledge or turned real events into myths and religious stories. Supporters of the theory point to strange artifacts, like ancient maps that appear to show Antarctica in detail, massive pyramids found across the globe, and even legends of underground or under-ice bases that might still hold traces of the Anunnaki. Mainstream science offers simpler explanations. It attributes these things to natural formations, cultural coincidences, or human ingenuity, without the need for alien intervention. From an official scientific perspective, the Anunnaki are gods from Mesopotamian religion. The stories about them reflect the worldview and beliefs of that ancient time. There is no archaeological evidence confirming contact with extraterrestrials or their involvement in the development of early civilizations. Scholars also emphasize that Sumerian art, writing, and architecture evolved gradually over time. The Sumerian king list, which includes rulers with impossibly long reigns, is seen as a religious or symbolic narrative, not a literal historical record. And while excavations in Mesopotamia continue, there is still no proof that Earth was once a colony of gold mining aliens. So why does the idea that the Anunnaki were aliens still hold such a strong grip on popular culture? Global flood myths. The presence of similar flood legends across many cultures fuels theories of a worldwide cataclysm, or perhaps even cosmic intervention. Megalithic structures. We still don't fully understand how the pyramids and other massive monuments were built. That mystery leaves room for the idea of higher helpers. Parallels in the Bible and mythology. Gods descending from the sky. Today, it's easy to associate that with space travel. And then, there's the human need to understand where we come from. Naturally, we're drawn to stories about our origins. And the idea that we were created by gods from the stars? It's cinematic, it's powerful, and deeply fascinating. In the end, ancient alien theories are a blend of modern sci-fi and ancient myth, a mix that sparks the imagination and reflects our timeless desire to reach beyond the known world. The myths of the Anunnaki, a blend of Mesopotamian texts, biblical echoes, and modern UFO speculation, continue to captivate our imagination. Are they simply the symbolic beliefs of a remarkable ancient civilization? Or could they hint at a forgotten contact with beings from beyond the stars? Mainstream scholars maintain that there's no real evidence of extraterrestrial visitors ever landing on Earth. But still, the questions remain. Where did the Sumerians get such a rich mythology? What inspired their visions of beings descending from the sky? How did humanity leap so quickly from stone tools to building massive ziggurats and forming complex civilizations? Could we be part of a much bigger story? For some, these ideas are thrilling. For others, just fiction, lacking solid proof. But one thing is certain: exploring the Anunnaki invites us to keep questioning, keep learning, and never stop wondering. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. If you enjoyed our deep dive into the possible extraterrestrial origins of the Anunnaki and the mysteries surrounding them, make sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel for more secrets from the past, and share your thoughts in the comments. See you soon, and remember, never stop exploring, and never stop being amazed, both in this world and beyond.